Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. This is a podcast to inspire, uplift, show forth the love of God, and help usher in the spiritual awakening. Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. I have a guest today, Jen McFarland. How are you, Jen?
I'm great. How are you, Jay?
Pretty good. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I'm the founder of Women Conquer Business. It's a small business marketing firm that helps solopreneurs and anything up to large social media companies figure out their marketing and do it in a way that's sustainable. So we don't do any scammy stuff. There's so much out there. I keep reading about how people trust marketers as much as used car salesmen, and I'm definitely appalled by that. So we provide good experiences and help people get the word out about the things that they care about.
Work exclusively with women?
I don't. It's just that I really believe that we need to support women and help women-led businesses. But as long as you don't have a problem with the business name, I'll work with you.
So is it a lot of people that have like online businesses, like for course creators and coaches and things like that? Do you work with
I,
them?
I do help course creators and coaches, and I also have several contracts with different entities. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I have a lot of groups that I work with locally, and so I would also help a lot of small local businesses, especially in Portland, Oregon, and that's a little bit different than an online business. We're really trying to get people to a location and get the word out about different events that we have in town and things like that. So I do a little bit of both. I mostly just like to help anybody who's trying to get their name out find the path that works for them because there's so many different ways that you can market your business.
Well, it seems like if you're online and you try to do a lot of social media stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't go anywhere. You don't really get any business or anything. It's like, what are the secrets to really getting people to your business, especially if it's online?
Yeah, so there's a few different things that you can do, and of course, it kind of changes a little based on what it is that you do, but there are a few pillars that are really helpful. So one thing that you can do, whether you have a location or not, is open up your Google business profile. If Google's giving your business free space, then you should take it. You can use that space to describe what it is that you
Hmm.
do, provide a link to your website, and other things like that. The the other thing that you can do, of course, is having a website. You just have to remember that if you're using social media and Google business profiles and things, you want to send people to your website because we don't have like it's not anymore that you can just put up a website and people will find it. You have to actually, actively drive people there. And then, of course, social media helps. A lot of it can be, but it is harder to get traction for your content on social media if you're not paying for it. So you have to be a little bit tricky. A lot of times people talk about all the different algorithms and things like that that you should be doing. But one of the things that you can do that really helps drive people to your content is you comment on other people's posts. And that's one of the ways that other people will see then what you're posting. So a lot of people forget the social part of social media. So we can't just post things. We have to actively engage with other people. And then if people comment, actively engage with our own content. And then, of course, you want to set up like email marketing that helps everybody. And there are a lot of people who say that email marketing is dead. It's actually not. It's one of the best fundamentals that any small business owner can have is setting up your email marketing and then asking people to sign up so that you can send things out. And you kind of start building up a flywheel when you start doing all of the different things, but you don't have to be active everywhere. But it does help if you have social media, email, website, and a Google business account.
I spent several years of my life stressed, anxious, and depressed. I needed to find something that would make my life work. For me, that was meditation. With meditation, I found the peace of mind that I was looking for. I found the happiness, and I found a way to improve every area of my life. my emotional life, my spiritual life, my relationships. I was able to discover things about myself. I can give you the tools to meditate. I will walk you through the process and hold your hand. Whether you're a beginner to meditation who's never meditated, or whether you're someone who's tried meditation and it just never seemed to work, we can make it work. Meditation is something that everyone can do, and I can show you how. Check out my course on meditation. So, like in terms of a website, I didn't really know if you needed a website because I thought that a lot of people just have a Facebook um, page, business page or something. But do you still recommend that they have a traditional website?
I do. I know there are a lot of people who don't do that. The problem with that is that when you put all of your content and all of your information up on Facebook or LinkedIn or even YouTube, is that it's not a space that you own and you don't control it. So that's where you become more susceptible to things like algorithms. So what you want to do instead is you can share parts of your content on social media and then send people back to the space that you own and control so that it's not sending people to, say, a competitor or to content that you don't really want or intend people to see. So it also protects you then if, a lot of social media platforms are very volatile right now. Congress is actively trying to figure out what they think about TikTok. There's been a lot of changes to Facebook. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on with these corporations that run social media. So you protect yourself by having a website that you create and own and can control the experience.
Where's a good place to get a website to put one together? Do you usually work with a particular website?
It really depends on the type of business that you are running. So for restaurants, it's good to have like Squarespace or even Square because it can help with kind of the food delivery, especially on Square. If you have an online store and you're selling products, whether they're, especially physical products and you have an inventory, Shopify is a really great option. If you're a content creator with a lot of content and you're a little bit technical, then WordPress is great. It just depends on what it is that you're trying to do
Mhm.
and then finding the best platform to help you communicate that. I mean, a lot of coaches use Squarespace and
Mhm.
it's fantastic.
Well, hmm. Is TikTok really a good thing to use? Because it seems like a lot of people use it, but I don't know, a lot of people are kind of afraid of it, like, are they tracking me and things like that.
Yeah, and what I was alluding to is that Congress has actually they're working on whether or not they're going to ban it on all governmental devices. I think, in fact, maybe they have, and then they're looking at other things that they would potentially want to do with TikTok. No social media platform is private. You're kind of opening yourself up to everything whenever you use any platform. Is TikTok better or worse than other platforms? The concern with TikTok is that they have something in their terms of service where they're talking about biometrics, and that concerns people because that's like looking at your eyes and retinas and things like that. It the bottom line for me in terms of TikTok is that the over half of the audience is outside the US, and most of the people I help are in the US. And the people who spend the most time
Mhm.
on TikTok tend to be much younger. So if you have, like, an international audience and they tend to be younger, it might be good for you, especially if you wanna do, like, all of the challenges and the dances and everything. If that's not really you, you can totally still build an audience on TikTok, but you can also build an audience in other places as well. So when I work with people about which platforms are the best for somebody, I'm really looking at what is it that you're trying to create? Who is it that you're trying to attract? And what are you actually going to do? Because a lot of people say I should do this or I should do that. but running a business is really about execution. So it's really about what are you actually committing to, and which social media platform are you willing to go to and build an audience with.
Is there like a site you can use that connects it all together? Because I thought it was called Tree something, and you can put like your YouTube and your Facebook and different things you're on. What is? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's called
you
something
can
Tree.
yeah, you can use a link tree and put like all the links in there. I actually send people to my website. I have a link that's just like
Hmm.
womenconquerbiz.com/link links, and it puts it all in there. And I actually say on there, if you want to buy Linktree, you do this instead, because what you're doing is you're sending people to your website with the list of all the links, and then people might poke around and see other things that they're interested in. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but yeah, Linktree is one way that you can, from social media, get people to go to all the places and see all of the things. And then you
Hmm.
can, there's just one of the most important things for many small business owners is to actually use a social media scheduler. So like you connect all of your social media to one place and then you schedule the content out. I still talk to a lot of small business owners that are stressing themselves out trying to like post to social media on the fly, and that can just be so difficult. Like no one has time. No one has time for that. Like we all just want to like schedule it and then log in a couple times a day and engage with the people who've liked or commented or shared your social content.
Hmm. Um, have you ever um, worked with anyone that does like meditation courses or anything like that?
I have actually. I've worked with a few coaches that use meditation courses as part of their core. And there are a lot of different ways that you can deliver meditation courses. I've helped some people put, if you're just doing if you don't want to be on camera and you want to have a meditation course, you can use tools that will create private podcasts that are really easy, that people can still get to them by paying, and you don't it's really easy to manage, and you can do it that way. You can also use a typical course platform to deploy something like meditation courses, and it works really well. People really like to have custom meditations, so they usually sell pretty well.
Were you talking about like Udemy or Teachable or things like that when you're talking about
Yeah,
like the?
you can do Udemy, Teachable. My courses are on a platform called Learn Worlds. There are, and then for the audio side, there's a platform called Soundwise. But my favorite audio platform for, setting up a payment page and getting people to buy an audio course is actually called Hello Audio. And that way you can have the player inside your course platform. So if you're using Podia or Teachable or Thinkific, people can listen to it there. Or if they would prefer, they can listen to it on their phone just using, their Apple Podcasts or Google Play, podcast player.
Mhm.
And it works really well.
But most of your business that you do, they have a physical business?
No, it's about half and half. It's about half and half.
Hmm. Was there just some techniques you use that work better for one business over another type of business?
Yeah, so a lot of the services that I offer are bespoke. I mean, we talk through what it is that you're looking to do, and then we find the best solution that also fits the budget. So a lot of it, and a lot of that comes from my background. I was an executive at the city of Portland. We worked in a lot of tech project management, and I was leading a lot of projects. So we would just look at what is it that we need, and then how can we improve that business process. And that's really the same way that I look at my clients now, is what is it that's happening? How do you want it to improve? And then what are the best tools that we can use to connect? Almost everything I do is digital marketing. I don't do any of the old school marketing. So I'm always looking at tools that are going to help make things be more productive and easier to do.
Mm-hmm. Um, Well, I mean, do most of the people that come to you, have they already tried to do marketing themselves and just haven't been able to? Or do you get a lot of people that have never done anything that come to you initially?
It's interesting. So through my partnerships with I work with the Portland Economic Development Division, which is Prosper Portland, and we work with a lot of new businesses who come through that program. And so it's a lot of people who've never done any marketing before. They may be really good at making something that they want to sell or really good at doing something, and getting it out into the market and telling people about it is a whole new concept for them. And then people who come to me for like marketing coaching or needing help setting up an automation, they're really coming to me as somebody who's like, "Look, I've tried to figure this out. Can't figure out what to do. Can I just get some help, and work through the problems?" So it really depends on which avenue people come through, because I have a very diversified revenue stream of people coming at me from different channels. So it really depends. But the thing is, everybody gets stuck. You know, everybody needs a little bit of help every once in a while, and that's really at the end of the day, that's really what we all do as business owners, is try to fill the cracks for everybody that we serve.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of businesses that say, well, if you take this course and you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, then it'll turn everything around. And, you get so many of those, you kind of just wonder, you know, would any of them even work?
Yeah,
Are
and
they just going to take your money and
yeah, and that's one of the things that I find the most dismaying is they've done all these surveys, and people trust marketers as much as they trust used car salespeople, and it it's really depressing. I think, because what I really I was a Peace Corps volunteer. I was an administrator, an executive at the city of Portland. I truly believe in service and in helping people. And you're right. There's like a ton of people out there who make all of these promises and then they don't deliver. And some of them will are consultants that take your money, and some of them are people who make courses. And there seems to be a real integrity gap among people selling to small businesses, and I really don't like it. Like, I'm a lot different. If I can't do something for somebody, I connect people to who can. If I don't think something's gonna work, I tell people.
Mhm.
Like, I don't have any, scarcity around things. There's a lot of people who can help with things. I can't live with myself if I am lying to somebody. But there seems to be, and I don't know for sure, there seems to be a lot of people who don't operate from that level. And so, yeah, you have to do a lot of vetting and talking to people in order to make sure you're getting the right thing for you, and that what they're sharing is honest and true and gonna help.
Well, a lot of them will say, like, if you do this program that I have, you'll make 6 and 7 figures and, you know, things like that. And you just kind of wonder if anybody ever does that. Most of the people probably doing the program probably aren't going to make 6 or 7 figures from what they're telling them. Do you think?
Uh, you know, so one of the things that I do if I'm evaluating a program is I will go, and if there's, because everybody puts like quotes and social proof and testimonials about their programs. I go and make sure that these are real people and they're real companies, and you'd be surprised at how many people are just putting like fake information up on their website. So there are a few things that we as consumers can do to take, to excuse me, that we can do as consumers to protect ourselves against some of these, nefarious characters out there who are just trying to scam us. And then it doesn't hurt to actually, when I engaged with a marketer. People think marketers don't need marketing help. That's a lie. It's like therapists. They have their own therapists. So it's, but before I engaged with somebody, I had somebody that I really liked, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any references? Is there anybody I can talk to?" And I went out and contacted them, and they followed up with me right away. So it's like we have a job as consumers to do what we can to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and our money. So we're only spending it on things that make sense. And then beyond that, yeah, I mean, you just have to have that know, like, and trust factor with the person that you're engaging with, to get good advice.
Well, do you actually create like the websites for people, or do you just sort of point them where they can go get a website usually?
Yeah, I very rarely do a ton of website work. I used to really be a web developer. Now I help people more with like content and writing and SEO, which means going in and editing an existing website, dialing in the content so that it's really speaking to a target audience, and then providing other strategic guidance to help people execute or help their marketing teams execute. Um, and I have a ton of people who love doing website development that I can send someone to if they need to go from scratch.
Mhm.
And then now, I mean, there's a ton of builders out there that you don't have to hire somebody if you feel so inclined, and you can build your own website.
So, in terms of people reaching out to get your help, how would they do that?
Oh, wow. So, you can go to womenconquerbiz.com, and I have a contact form on there. You can also follow me. I'm on, just Jen McFarland on LinkedIn, and you can catch me there. I have Women Conquer Business has, Facebook, LinkedIn pages, Instagram. So I'm all over social media. And yeah, I mean those are the main ways. I'm pretty easy to find.
Did you actually have any courses or things that you do yourself that you've marketed?
Oh yeah, I have a something that's called it's a new initiative that I just started called the Strategic Marketing Membership. And we have actually weekly events with our members. So we have co-working and we have coaching sessions with me. And then we have 2 trainings a month. It's all based on what I have found that most solopreneurs and small businesses need in order to help them get their marketing going. So the coaching gives you that like one, it's in a group, but it gives you more of that laser idea around like what's really going on. Co-working is really to give you time and space to work on what's most critical for your business instead of always triaging and putting out fires. And then I have 2 different types of trainings every month. One is called marketing shortcuts, and these are like little recipes that in a mini work session that we do together, where the last one that we had last week went really well, and it was, how to attract more great leads. So these are leads, not just a bunch of people, these are the right people. And I had a simple 3-step process that we worked through together so that people could be working on it and understand conceptually, how to talk about what it is that they do in a way that's appealing for people who are looking for that specific skill. And we have those kinds of trainings every month. And then there's a bigger, broader marketing training that happens every month. So one of the best ways to get more leads, for example, is a Google Business Profile. And the Google Business Profile is something that you can use all of the things that we did in the marketing shortcuts course last week. You can take what we talked about there and then apply it to your Google Business Profile, and it'll give you the training for how to get that set up and put the key components in that you need to attract more leads using a Google Business Profile. So it's a really tight integrated membership. I've also created a few courses as well. The most popular course that I've made by far is called the Ultimate Podcast Planning Checklist. We've sold, I don't know, 500 or 600 of them via AppSumo. People can go on AppSumo and buy the course. And we're in the process of updating it and making it a full-blown course. Like right now on AppSumo, it's I think $3, and it's a really basic hot tips around how to create a podcast if you don't really have a ton of money and you want to go from start to finish. And right now I'm almost done making it a complete in-depth course. I think we'll continue to offer it on AppSumo because it's a great way to get traction, to get people, into a course and getting them engaged. But we'll probably raise the price once it's a full course from $3 because that's pretty cheap. So so yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I do a lot of training and then I make them into bite-sized trainings that people can go through and finish relatively quickly.
Do you have a lot of your businesses where people are very passionate that they're trying to help people in a very certain way, and they're very motivated, um, but they just don't know what to do? Because you get a lot of businesses like that where they're trying to help people.
I think I do, and part of it is that, like, on my website, I say, like, we mostly help, purpose-driven businesses, people who are passionate about what they do, and I also think it's because, people who've engaged with me, they're attracted to the work that I do and the way I talk about it because I'm obviously very passionate about it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've also helped people who, they've had their business for a while. They're ready to like give up on the marketing and all of that. And it's about kind of like pumping people up and getting them excited again. So it's a combination. But yeah, most of the time, the people I work with that really are energized and take what we talk about and run with it are people who are super committed to everything that they're working on and they really like to help other people.
Hmm. So, is there one final word you'd like to leave with the audience before we close out?
Yeah, you know what? I think that I know actually that anything is possible and you can build that business that you want to have. You can take everything and automate things and make your life easier. And it's just about being a little bit curious and about getting in there. And sometimes you need a little help. Sometimes the blog posts maybe aren't working. And, the best thing that you can do is find somebody who can help you. Find a trusted advisor who has worked with people like you before and that you really hit it off with. And then check them out. Do your due diligence. If you have that little feeling in your stomach that's like, God, maybe this isn't the right fit. I mean, you got to listen to that. And that's really how you're going to find the good marketing folks that can help you promote your business and help you get out there and do it because everybody who is listening to this or watching this, you all have so much value that you can provide to the world. So you deserve to be able to promote it and share it with the world.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay.